We are about to wrap up hour number 1 down here in the Pulse Radio studio at Boise State University. You are listening to Blue Collar Sports. Been a great show so far for you today. Talked all hoops, lots on LeBron and the Lakers and the Celtics, and gave you our top 10 small forwards. So if you missed it and you want to hear it, go check it out. It's on our Twitter page as at Blue Collar SR. The B, C, the S, and the R are all capitalized. At Blue Collar SR. And we got our Periscope video if you're tuning in through Periscope. We appreciate it. If you're tuning in through the app, Radio FX, of course, love to have you on as well. Lots of ways you can get a hold of us.
Absolutely. Follow us on social media, like you said, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything we have for you. Any way you want to listen to the show, we're going to find our way to you. So thank you for listening. And it's been a great show so far. We're ready to wrap up hour number 1.
Yeah, we run from 2 to 4 p.m. every Tuesday, Thursday. That's where you can find us. But now we're going to cover, we talked a lot of hoops, like I said. Now we're going to cover more details going on inside the sports world. We're going to start with the MLB. We talked about it last week. Bryce Harper, officially, I believe it was right before our show on Thursday.
Right before
when he announced it. So we talked a little bit about it on Thursday, but he has been introduced. He's officially a member of the Philadelphia Phillies on a 13-year, $330 million deal. Had his press conference, everything. His jersey was released. What is the impact of this? Are you coming into it now, or are you still liking this deal?
Yeah, it was right before our show that this happened. Now we kind of have a couple of days to really recap and wrap our minds about what deal went down. And for me, I still can't really go all in about it. I like Bryce Harper. I like him as a player, but the Philadelphia Phillies, to me, are just too similar to the Washington Nationals, the team he just left. 13 years, $330 million. Of course, most people are going to take that, obviously, but 13 years is a long time, especially if no opt-out for a team or a player opt-out. So that's a long time here. He does get the most money overall, not year to year, but Machado actually got better than that. But Bryce Harper, to me, Philadelphia, I didn't know if that was the right fit. But if that's where he wants to be, then that's great for him. I'm glad he did it. We were kind of talking about Pennsylvania's state income tax is only 3%. If he went to the Dodgers or some LA or California team, it would have been 13%. So he got 10% less than that over in Pennsylvania. So he's going to keep pretty much all of his $330 million. So pretty good deal there. But Bryce Harper, we saw his ceremony where they introduced him. Some good moments where he's going to wear number 3, not going to wear Holiday's number. And also he did say he wants to bring a championship back to DC. Which he's still got to get over that. He needs to move on from that and stay focused on Philadelphia. But Bryce Harper is going to be a Philadelphia Philly, and he's already recruiting Mike Trout, it sounds like. So Bryce Harper, he's going to do what he wants now in Philadelphia. He's going to be the guy, and he's going to try and take his brand to the next level.
Yeah, I'm starting to like this deal more and more as I look at it. And I do say, when I saw this deal, I didn't think it'd be possible for them to get Trout, but they still have a lot of money. I don't think they're going to make any more deals. I know there's still some good pitchers on the market, but I don't think they're going to make any more deals. If they got a shot at Trout, I think this makes a lot of sense for Trout. Trout isn't a guy that likes the spotlight. He's a quieter guy. You don't see him a lot in the media. You don't see him doing advertisements. Harper does all that. Harper loves the attention. And so I think if he were to go back home to Philadelphia and go play in Philadelphia, he could let Harper take all that media attention, and I think they'd obviously be incredibly fun to watch play together. So I do still think that's a very realistic possibility. And you talked about his jersey. He will wear number 3 instead of number 34. That's been his original number with of course the Nationals, and that was Roy Halladay's number when he played for Philadelphia Phillies, and of course the tragedy of Roy Halladay last year. And so I think it's a great moment for Bryce Harper to switch jersey to number 3. An interesting note here that Bryce Harper, his jersey, within the first 24 hours of it being released, was the highest selling jersey in the history of sports for a jersey within the first 24 hours. Did this surprise you?
It absolutely did surprise me because over here, I don't think the buzz is really around it. Right. But even in Philadelphia, I didn't know if they really wanted Bryce Harper, to be honest, because everyone was wanting Mike Trout for next year. But it absolutely surprised me because it made me realize that this is a bigger move than we all really figured. So it's pretty cool to see that, though. Philadelphia gets another star. Philadelphia's been all over the sports news the past couple of years.
Town.
They're really stepping their game up. and it's pretty cool to see, but absolutely surprised me.
Yeah, this one surprised me for sure. And I think it surprised me more because when I think about jerseys, baseball jerseys aren't really the first ones that pop into my head. I'm not a big. I mean, I like jerseys. I got a couple of them. I'm not a huge jersey wearer. I do have a Mariners one, but that's only for special occasions. But when I think of jerseys, I always think NBA jerseys are what sell the most, and so it did surprise me in that sense. But hats off to Bryce Harper and the Phillies. They finally get this deal done. I heard the Angels are now trying to work on a 10-year extension for Mike Trout. We talked a little bit about this morning, but if you're Trout and you see 10 years, $300 million, or an option to leave in, I believe, 1 or 2 years, which route are you taking?
If I'm Mike Trout, I'm going to play my couple years and then let my contract expire and test the market because you're going to get the biggest deal possibly in all baseball history. And I know the Angels, that franchise is scared right now, hearing their player Mike Trout in the news, trying to be recruited to Philadelphia. You don't want to hear any of that. So, of course, they're going to come out and try and give him a big contract. Of course, they want to keep the best player in baseball on their team. But if I'm Mike Trout, I want to win, and that's not going to be Anaheim right now. I'm going to wait for my contract to give up, and then you could get this money, I believe, at any team because any team wants Mike Trout.
Yeah, I'm sure you want to take him. Everyone wants to see him play. And speaking of that, big-time news in the college basketball world today as well. Zion Williamson has been announced he will not play tonight, but it's sounding like he is going to come back to this team this season. He was questionable going into tonight. Coach K said he's still in the last stages of his rehab process with his leg, but we will not see him tonight against Wake Forest. But it's sounding like he's going to play. You think it's a good thing?
You know, we had this debate. I would have liked to shut him down, but if he wants to play, I'm not going to stop him. I'm going to let him play. And if he is playing, I think Duke is going to be my pick to win it all. So I'm glad. You don't have to rush him back. So if he's not ready to play tonight, don't let him play. I'd bring him back in the beginning of the NCAA tournament. You can play him there, let him come back, keep winning games in the tournament, and then trying to get to the Final Four and possibly the championship game. So if Zion wants to play, let him come back. Just don't let him wear Paul George's.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle that situation. They play Wake Forest tonight. He will not be playing, but their next game is against North Carolina Saturday night, and that is who he injured his leg.
It would be cool to see him come back in that game.
It would be entertaining to see him come back. I believe that one will be Chapel Hill, so it was at Cameron Indoor. First one's in Cameron Indoor, so that one will be in North Carolina. I would like to see him back and get prepared for their ACC tournament. Of course, March Madness. The top 10 was released last night as well. Duke, who had lost a couple games, I think, two games without Zion, they fall back to number 4. Kentucky, the great opportunity against Tennessee, they blew it. Tennessee blew them out in that game. They get back inside the top 5. But right now, Gonzaga remains at number 1. Virginia, who broke a team record of 18 threes last night. They went off. Kyle Guy had 8 threes. I like them a lot, but I also picked them to win it last year, so can't get big on them. They sit at number 2. North Carolina's at number 3. Duke's at number 4. Duke and Tennessee are actually tied in the Coaches Bowl, but Duke is number 4 in the AP. Interesting to see if they're 3 and 4 come Saturday. That'd be fun to watch with Evan, North Carolina. Tennessee jumps to number 5. Kentucky falls to 6. Michigan has been sitting at 7, it seems like, all year. Texas Tech, who's my dark sleeper, they could win the Big 12 this year. Weird to not see Kansas win a championship, but I think they've got talent to win it all. They're at number 8. Michigan State's at 9, and LSU, 3 SEC teams are inside the top 10. LSU rounds out at number 10.
Pretty interesting top 10. I think it's wide open this year, even with Duke if they're at full strength. But the season's coming to an end. It is March now, and so that means March Madness, the tournament, is coming up, and we're going to have our tournament for you, a Blue Collar Sports Tournament. We're going to do March Madness. You can fill out your brackets and compete for a prize. So that's what we're going to have for you on Blue Collar Sports. We did it last year. We had some great winners, and we can't wait for March Madness to begin.
Yeah, we'll have our bracket for you through the ESPN app as well, and of course our bracket on Twitter that we make that we're still trying to figure out the details on, but we'll have that coming up for you guys as well as we make our own brackets. Bracket season, March is here. It's going to be fun. That's your college basketball wrap up. It's almost 3 o'clock, which means it's time to wrap up hour number 1 of today's show. Hats off to Kevin Mitchell. He wins the Honda Classic this past weekend in the golf world. Tiger Woods has announced he will be out of the Arnold Palmer Invitational this weekend, hoping to play for the Players, and of course Masters is now just about a month away, so definitely hope he gets better, but that's the golf update.
And that wraps up hour number 1 of Blue Collar Sports. Great NBA insight, top 10 small forwards. I know our lists were very different. Heated debate, of course, as always. And then this segment, great MLB and college basketball insight. But we have a lot more to offer you in the second hour of Blue Collar Sports. So don't go away. Stay tuned. It's going to be great stuff.
Yeah, NFL Combine, more hoops coming up for you in hour number 2. Stay tuned.